Not as much as I used to think so, because in high school they kind of instilled that if you don't go to college right after high school and you don't know what you want to be, that you're kind of going to be a failure. But I think it's more important to take some time to figure out what you actually want to do before you pursue it.
Yes, I'm very pressured by my parents especially to attend a specific college in the South because that's where my grandparents and my mother's whole side of the family is from. So I feel like since I said I like it, I have no choice but to go there now. I've cornered myself into going there instead of having the option of going to Michigan or somewhere around here. I applied for the University of Michigan, the University of Georgia, the University of Alabama, and Michigan State University.
I felt more pressure in high school to get good grades, especially there's a lot of people here that just don't care, so they're just like, eh. But in high school, a lot of people got really good grades and were taking a lot of AP courses and were still doing sports, and so you felt more pressure to try and be at the same standard as everyone else was.
I felt more pressure in high school over college just because in high school it was all about getting good grades to make and having the opportunity to go to college. Where now that I'm in college and I know what I want to do and I know the career I want to be in, that the pressure isn't as big.
Definitely more pressure in college because high school, there's this mentality that high school doesn't matter because college is just the next step and high school is the preparation for that. And even though after college is done, I don't feel like the pressure is going to get any lighter. It's definitely, there's more pressure in college because you're doing all the work yourself and there's nobody there to motivate you. You have to make the first move.
My AP Calculus course definitely put a lot of stress on me. I was pretty busy my senior year, and with that and on top of my other classes and other commitments, it was pretty stressful.
I took 3 AP courses. I took AP Psych, AP Western History, and AP Art.
I am taking 3 AP courses, in Advanced Bio, which I'm taking the AP exam for, so kind of 4 AP classes this year.
I took 3 AP courses my senior year. I took AP English, AP Psychology, and AP Calc.
Taking the ACT was probably the most pressure I've ever been in my whole life. My whole family was really pushing me to get a 32 because the potential for full tuition was covered by a few of the schools I applied for with a 32, and I got back my scores and I got a 31. So that was kind of hard because I didn't get good feedback. I got, okay, what are we doing next time? And I retook it twice and I got a 31 both times. And I decided I'm not going to take it again. I'm going to handle the 31.
National Honor Society and other things like that. I felt like I had to do it because I needed more to put on my application.
I didn't feel so much pressure to participate in sports, but I guess there was a little bit of pressure for clubs, just like NHS and Senate and that kind of thing. Mainly NHS for your grades. It just looks good on your college application.
I had an older sister who participated in a lot of things, so I kind of felt pressure to do it anyway. And then as I got older, I felt pressure to do more so I could put it on college applications. But a lot of the things that I do them because I love them anyway.
Though I do know a lot of people who pull a lot of all-nighters, and it is effective, or it does affect their social life and their mood.
Most of the time when I'm pulling later nights studying, it's because I am trying to save more of my social life, so I sacrifice more of like my sleep life in order to have both an academic and a social life.
It's definitely hindered it because I'm not meeting a lot of people like a lot of my friends are. They're constantly meeting new people every day and stuff like that, and especially working second shift, I don't really meet that many people because I'm on a different shift of time than most of society, I guess.
But a lot of the girls came in with their friends from their schools, so that made it hard to meet new girlfriends.
But I have had to like cut out different social activities just to go home and work on homework and study for exams. So if anything, it's hindered social life, but not to any huge extent.
A lot of times my roommate, he'll give me a hard time to kind of lay back off of my degree, kind of do less homework and hang out more.
I have a very heavy workload at night as far as homework goes. Typically, I have starting at 3 hours, but some nights if I have tests the next morning, it can go up to 6 or 7 hours. You put in the fact that I have lots of things I do after school, and I typically go to bed after midnight, and waking up at 6, that's not so hot. So I am usually pretty stressed out.
There's a lot of pressure to definitely use alcohol, a lot less drugs, but it still exists. Luckily, I have not fallen into that, but that doesn't mean that the pressure isn't there, even within a lot of the friends that you have that maybe you didn't know had the pressure there in the first place.
But being on a college campus, a large college campus, I do see drugs and alcohol heavily used, and in many cases, even beyond just seeking out to take care of levels of stress.
The pressure for use of drugs and alcohol is something that I think everybody has been faced with at least once. I don't feel pressure to use them personally, but I know people that do feel that way.
There's a lot of pressure in college just because everyone seems to be going to parties and doing drugs and drinking alcohol. But I think since my main friend group, we don't drink, that it lessens the pressure a lot.
I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to the economy, so it hasn't really affected my stress at all.
As far as finances go, I am on my own. A lot of student loans, grants, things like that. So my parents don't help me out with the money for college. So obviously I feel pressured to pay for it.
Yeah, I'm like not even done with school and I have like 20 grand in debt. So it's already happening. I can't help it now.
I do feel worried about debt and paying off loans. I think my main focus right now, not only with getting good grades, is getting a job and working. So I'm working 15 hours a week and trying to save money, which is a lot different than high school.
My parents are helping me a little bit. I don't even know. I think they're paying like half or something. But that definitely does give me more pressure to have good grades just because I feel like I need to since I'm not paying full. But yeah, there's a lot like jobs-wise, and especially around here, you feel like you need to have a full-time job, but then you need to focus on your grades too, so it's hard to balance the two.
My parents do help me a lot. I'm lucky enough to the point where I don't have to worry about debt. But yes, it does put more pressure on me to do better.
I'm not worried about debt so much right now because it's kind of in the back of my mind. It's my first year, but I know in a few years when I see my debt and when I have to pay it off, then I will.
I feel a lot of pressure to pay for college. I'm paying for it all by myself, and so there's a lot of pressure in finding a job and saving money, and then there's also a lot of finances and like things you have to pay for. So the pressures of trying to pay that is really big.
I'm still deciding that, I guess. I feel pressured to pursue a career where I can feel comfortable at. I've always had a pretty comfortable life in high school, and I think right now it is a pressure to choose a career with a lot of money.
There is a pressure of not only having to make money in your career, but also being successful. And nowadays with careers, having people switch so many times, you kind of want to like get all the schooling under your belt. That way you don't have to go back and like switch your major because it's really expensive. So yeah, there's pressures in picking the right career.